Hi, welcome to the 9th video about creating a chatbot end-to-end on the example of a CityQuest bot. So we are almost done with our chatbot quest. We started with the idea, prepared the contents for the quest, chose the architecture for creating our bot, then we created a basic block for one question in ChatFuel and later added some more advanced functions. After that, we added some webhooks to implement things that can't be done on ChatFuel alone. And in the previous video, we added the intro block with rules and some story, and also live chat. I have spent several hours and created 6 more question blocks in ChatFuel, using our question 1 block as a template. So here is how our bot flow in ChatFuel looks like now. As I've told earlier, in case someone would like to have access to this agent on ChatFuel, please send me a personal message on YouTube or to my email, and I will provide you an invite link. In this video, we will add a storage for user's score. For this, we will be using Airtable and its API. Airtable is something similar to Google Sheets, plus it has a nice API. Let's go to airtable.com, log in, and create a new table called CheckQuestBot. And here let's rename it to CheckQuestBot. In this table, let's add the following columns: Messenger, user ID, first name, last name, gender, profile pic, URL, time zone, locale, user score, and scores for 7 questions. Now let's go to airtable.com/API, and here it's nicely described how to use this API with our specific table. We will need 3 endpoints and functions. Firstly, for initial saving users' data, then to update existing user record with his score, and the third one to get user's position in the final rating. For working with this API, we can use the official Airtable JavaScript library, but for me it was more convenient to use the async await wrapper module called Airtable Plus. So in Glitch, let's install this module, Airtable Plus. Go to Packages.js, add package, and here it is. Then in Functions.js, let's import Airtable Plus. Then we will create an instance of Airtable. We need 3 things: base ID, API key, and table name. Our Airtable base ID is in our table description with examples of API calls. Our API key is on our account page, and the name of our table is CheckQuestBot. In Functions.js, let's create a function called SaveUser. It will take user data, which will be our rec body, and it will contain Messenger user ID and other users' parameters received from Facebook Messenger. So let's prepare an object, user data, to save with this data. Next we will initialize 2 variables user saving res as an empty object and returning user. After that, first we will call Airtable read and filter by formula Airtable read, and we will add an object to filter records by a messenger user ID column value. So this syntax was taken from the documentation of the Airtable API. Thus, we will check if a user with such messenger user ID already exists in our database. This function returns an array of users objects. So we will check if user length is more than 0, and in such a case we will set returning user variable to 1. And then we will update this record passing the user data to save object prepared earlier. And we will save the results to the variable user saving res. Otherwise, we will create a new record by calling Airtable create. If we have a returning user, we will add a key returning user to user saving res object equal to 1. And we will return user saving res object. Now let's go to server.js and add a new app post method to handle requests to endpoint Airtable save user. Here we will call our save user function from functions and pass rec body to it. If the object user save res is not empty, we will return response status to 100 and set attributes Airtable record ID equal to user save res.id and an attribute returning user equal to user save res.returning user. If save user function didn't return anything, we will send just an error string saying that we failed to save data for a given user. Now let's go to Chatfuel, and in the intro block, let's add a Json Api card with a post request to endpoint Airtable save user. And we will pass our Facebook Messenger attributes here. So after triggering this route, we will have two attributes set on Chatfuel. Airtable record ID equal to messenger user ID and returning user 1 or 0. Let's go to the block queueStart and add a redirect to block card where we will check if returning user attribute is equal to 1. If so, we will send user to a new block called confirm restart. Let's create it and set the redirect. In confirm restart, we will add typing and a text card. With text, you have already started to pass this quest. The restart will erase all existing results. Are you sure you want to do this? And two quick reply buttons. Yes, restart, leading to reset attributes block. And no, continue, for which we will create a new block, resume, in quest general group. And there we will have a call to resume endpoint. Let's test this by triggering intro block and checking our Airtable table. Now, let's add our second function for saving users' final scores in the existing record. In function.js, let's add a function update user results, which takes user data, and in this function, inside of a try-catch block, we will check if user data contains Airtable record ID, and if yes, we will call Airtable update, passing record ID and an object with such keys as user score, Q1 score, Q2 score, etc. And we will return the result of this operation, otherwise we'll return false. In server.js, we will add another appPost method to handle requests to endpoint Airtable update user. It will call update user results function with reg body and respond by setting attribute Airtable record ID equal to user update res.id. In Chatfuel, let's go to the block end and add a Json Api card there, triggering endpoint Airtable update user, and pass user score and scores for all other questions here. So, and finally we will create the third function and route for determining user's position in the final rating. In functions.js, we will add a function getUserRating, which will take messenger user ID. First, we will set the variable default response equal to string, and that's a very good result, and return it. Then, in the try-catch block, we will add let user position equal to 1 and let user count equal to 1. We will read data from our Airtable, but will return only columns messenger user ID and user score. Plus, we will add sorting by user score. Then we will go through the records looking for the messenger user ID and remember the index of this row. And then we will return a string saying that this is the result among participants. In server.js, we will add appPost method to handle requests to endpoint Airtable determine user rating, and we will add, so we will get messenger user ID and call getUserRating function passing messenger user ID. After that we will respond by setting Chatfuel's attribute user in rating. Back to Chatfuel, in the block end, after the call to update user's records, we will add typing and a text card. Your final score is user score. Then we will add a Json Api card with post request to Airtable determine user rating, and we will pass messenger user ID there. And after that we will add typing and text with user in rating. So, and now let's test this and see what we get. So, our city quest in format of a chatbot is ready. In the next video, for demonstration purposes, I will provide a screencast of passing this quest. It's winter here in Ukraine now, so it's a bit difficult to find beta testers. I plan to continue with this project later and present my results of testing on live users in maybe 2 or 3 months. So, and in the last video for now, I will quickly speak about my seeing of possible business applications of chatbot quests.